Hi everyone, my name is Wando and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a Kumihimo bracelet. And don't worry about any other thing like materials and stuff, apart from what's on screen, any other extra thing will be down below in the description. And today we are using three colors. I'm going to be cutting 2 strings of yellow and 3 strings each of brown and pink. And I'll be showing you what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put the ends of my string together and I'm going to measure out, well, you know your measurement, but I'm going to put it to be about 30 inches each, and then I'm going to add the pink string into it now so I can cut the 2 strings and the remaining 2 strings for my other colors together. And now that I'm done with that, I'm going to extend my brown string by at least 10 inches because I want to use that to make my loop. Now, if you've never made a loop before or a kumihimo, don't be intimidated. It's actually pretty easy to make, and I'll show you, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll be weaving like a pro. So I'm going to pinch the middle of my bracelet or my strings when I folded them in half, and I'm going to take that string I extended, that brown string I extended, and I'm going to hold it out, and then I'm going to pinch the other ones, and I'm going to use that brown string and make a backward D over my strings together. Then I'm going to pull my string through that loop, and then I'm going to repeat that by making a 4 and then pull my string through that loop. So in friendship bracelets, what I did is called a backward forward knot. That's how we make loops. So I'm going to show you again. Make a capital D, pull it through the loop, make a number 4 and pull it through that loop. And I'm going to be doing that until I get my desired length, which in my opinion is like 1.5 to 2 inches. Now I'm going to hold my 2 bunches of strings together and I'm going to make that same backward forward knot over all my strings together as a bunch so that it pinches together and gives this nice loopy start that I like. If you don't want to make a loop, you can just choose to make ties, or you can make a knotted loop, which is just where you make a knot over your strings. Kumihimos are grouped into twos like the picture on the screen, and then for this tutorial, the white is my yellow, the wine is my brown, and then the yellow or the pale something there is actually my pink. So not to confuse you. So now we're going to arrange our strings on the disc according to the pattern on the screen. So starting with the 2 wine, which in my case is brown, and then two of those same strings again, but instead we're going to be leaving 2 spaces in between. So I'm going to leave 3, 4, and I'm going to go into 5 and 6, space 5 and 6, leaving 7 and 8. I'm going into 9 and 10 with our yellow and pink string, and then we're going to move and leave 10 and 11 going into 13, 14. Now, note from future me, I made a mistake by putting on my disc and I didn't realize until when I was editing. So I'm going to go back after I finish arranging this and rearrange it. I'll show you that on camera so you don't have to be confused. So I'm just going to stop calling out the numbers now because I realized that I made a mistake and jumbled up the other ones and I don't want you to be confused. So please just follow the diagram on the screen and everything will go well for you. Remember to leave 2 spaces in between each set. And when you're done, you should have a total of 8 sets, which is 16 strings that will be evenly distributed according or around your disc. Okay. So now I mentioned I made a mistake. So in between the second and the third set, I left 3 spaces instead of 2, which affected my distribution throughout my disc. So I'm just going to go back and adjust every string by 1 space. So moving it round. And now I can see that that 1 space is now back to 2 spaces, which it should be. And I'm just going to run my fingers through my string to make sure that they're free from tangles so I can actually start the bracelet. Like this is where the tutorial actually starts from. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take the right top down and take the lower left up, like what I'm going to be showing now. So I'm going to take the string in number 2 down to 15, sorry, 16, no, and then I'm going to take 18 up to 32. And I'm going to turn anti-clockwise or follow the arrow on my bracelet on my disc. Then I'm going to take the top right down and then take the lower left up and turn again. Remember, we're turning anti-clockwise. And remember, your string should be untangled. It's a pain to untangle them later, so let them always be untangled. So now we're going to take 10 down to 24 and we're going to take 26 up to 8. And remember, turn. We're going to take 14 down to 28 and take 30 up to 12. And turn. Take 17 down to, I'm pretty sure I'm calling these numbers wrong, but I don't remember how I positioned them before. But we're going to take the right down to lower. I want to take the lower left up. When turn anti-clockwise, we're going to repeat those same steps again. So we're basically just doing 3 steps. We're taking what's on the high right down, and we're taking what's on the lower left up, and then we're turning. Those are the 3 steps you're going to be following throughout this tutorial until when you get your desired length. Now, a tip: if you forget like me and you don't untangle your strings, you can just leave your string down on 3, so you have 3 strings on the lower half, and then just pick up your back of your string and pull out 3 strings at a time. It works well for me all the time. Just pull 3 strings or 2 strings out of the mess until where you're completely untangled. And if you might want to add a weight, depending on what you're using, I'm using wool. If you're using like embroidery floss or another kind of wool, I don't know what you might want to do. I prefer not to add a weight, but then I stop my bracelets like a few inches. Like maybe I need my bracelet to be 7 inches, I'll stop it like 6.75 so that I can just stretch it out and to be 7 inches. But I don't know what you're using, so it might be different. And I just finished untangling my string like I told you I was going to do. Pull them 3 or 2 strings out each. And tip: make sure if you're stopping your bracelet, leave 1 string down so you have 3 in one part. It makes it easier to remember where you stopped, and you can just continue by lifting the string up and moving on. This is where I end this tutorial, and I'm sorry I don't film the end or how I end the bracelet because I wanted it to be really short. And this is actually what my bracelet looks like as of when I'm ending this tutorial. You'll see the picture which will show you what it looks like after I'm finished. And if you want to watch other tutorials, please feel free. But till then, bye!